Oh, wow, okay. Sorry, I guess. I see him doing this while I can't even form Prussia. Facepalm. Sorry, Blade. But the first step to stopping being a casual is admitting that you're a casual. Jack could probably pretty much get the province back now. But I want my vassal to, you know, stand on their own 2 feet for once. Bane, if you're still there, tell me, are you actually going to be restarting and challenging me to the race? Because that tells me whether or not I should be going super fast or just taking it easy. You seemed kind of defeatist earlier today. Very good, Leo Don can go back to the U. There's a temptation to take back the land for Korea, bring them back into the fold, but it's not land that's actually of any importance for the run. It would fill me with joy to polish off the border though. You have relationship with Ming? Just military access through them. Use tribal feud so I can take this land, no problem. Super fast, Jake. After a good sleep, I'll jump back into it. Don't you worry. Okay, so you're still going to keep the challenge going. Alright, that tells me I need to go fast still. Works for me. There'll be plenty of time to polish off borders later on then, I'm sure. Alright, 120 stack back there. The other 20 stack back there, because it's revolting. In fact, you folks go there because you are closer. As for you, Shun, annexing this vassal will take a long time. Plenty of time to get that core back. It will cost 1950 Diplo power, but the way to think about it is that's only losing me 6 Diplo power a month for 130 months. Okay, that means I'm going to need a better advisor, but I've got a 6 heir. Who cares, let's do it anyway. So war with Ming in 4 years. War with Timmy in 11. I'm not marrying you now. I could war with Scandinavia quite soon, but they are already in a big war. So the Commonwealth. Could fight the Commonwealth with the Ottomans on my side. Austria's involved. But Austria would get hammered, and it would be a free way to get Riga into the war. They wouldn't enjoy me taking their land though. So what I want is Riga out of the coalition. After all, I only need 1 shot to take the land I need. I don't have to care about... Excuse me. I don't need to care about coalitions afterwards. So the question is, do I fight Commonwealth or do I fight Riga? Riga have all this land. Do I somehow get them into separate wars? No, it's going to be like 2 wars to get this land off of the Commonwealth, all this Russian region land. Speaking of Russia, we fight then. Alright, so I think I've got to fight the Commonwealth. I can have the Ottomans join in, and everybody wins, especially me. Perm shouldn't revolt. I know it's got 10 years of nationalism, but it still shouldn't revolt. What I'll do is I'll bring up my not crap troops. Up over to Vodka. and then we will declare war from the north. In fact, might as well declare early. Gee, that's not a lot of cannons. Where are all my cannons? They're all sticking around here like fools. What I should do is just leave one stack around here to deal with things. 9-5. No, we'll deal with that. But I still want Riga out of this coalition. Could I punch Russia out of the Commonwealth? No, these aren't Russian cores. They're just Russian region territory. Is he westernized? No, I am not, Chemo. And I will not westernize. Riga, Bavaria, Austria, Cologne, Venice. Well, the Commonwealth will no doubt remain war leader. I mean, look how big they are. Austria should go and shaft everyone on this side. Although, where are all their troops? Oh, a little predisposed. Fighting Timmy. Well, better to drag them in now, whilst they are not heavily in debt. I will get my horses in on the case as well. But damn, I want a lot of Regan land. Trouble is, my Casus Belli won't extend onto them unless I declare directly upon them. Maybe I shouldn't worry about Riga and the coalition. No, we'll focus on discombobulating the Commonwealth. They are, after all, going to be the long enemy here. Let's just do it now. Too much thinking hurts. Gotta bear in mind that we have one diplomat tied up for a long time here. What about Crimea, Jake? Yeah, I do need Crimea, but we will get them in due time. I was kind of hoping this land would have revolted away. What I can do is, if I can take 1, 2, 3, 4 provinces, I can get my border back with Crimea and gobble them up. Well, preferably vassalize them, but they're too big for that. They're like 180% right now. Tech 17, never leave home without it. Cavalry shock, although I'm not using much cavalry around here. Eastern Swarm Cavalry is a bit rubbish right now, at least. Did you see that Arumba was talking about you? Is this the best thing that has ever happened to you thus far in your insignificant life? Wow, what a prick. Okay, so the cost for you is pretty high. It might prove very expensive to get all this land. And you've got quite the army behind you, but oddly enough, not France. Aren't you two best of buddies? France is in that coalition. Maybe I should invest in getting them out of it. Right. I'm going to march you guys over here as well. I got a plan. I got a plan to end all plans. I'm going to need you guys over in Ladoa though, and you folk, you just hang around there. How are you still beating people without westernized units? Because I'm good. Specifically, I'm keeping Russia as a pet and using these cores of his to recruit his units. Soldati infantry. Look how much better they are than Eastern archers. Each of these pips signifies the same as having 1 extra point on a dice roll or 1 extra point on a general. Speaking of generals, ours just died and we don't have the mill points to make another one. Not good. We will get one in 2 months. Poor Riga, what's your cost? That's nice. I can take most of your land and I will use it to recruit units. Unfortunately, Riga's culture is Prussian, and a lot of their land that they have cores on are not Prussian. so they'll go away in about 50 years. I have a couple of ways to get around that. One would be to vassalize Riga. The other would be just to war them every 50 years or so. Both sound quite tempting. Yeah, I've heard Arumba's pretty good at CK2. I have not had a... I don't understand CK2, so I can't really say one way or the other. It's not my kind of game. Yeah, that's what everyone that doesn't like. That's what everyone that is bad at something says. Right. You are changing the culture there? Okay, if you want to. Glad to see that the bulk of the enemy's troops are heading that direction. Now let's get that Conquistador. 4 for 1, nay bad at all. And what do we do with you? Well, we hope that Russia can actually fight quite well. See, I've just come away from a big multiplayer game where I've had to fight in this region. So how am I going to do it this time? The best strats. Yeah, that's a bit of a crap guy, but can't really do much better right now. Now I'm fairly glad that we went quantity here. Because quantity has a quality of its own. I'm going to make a strategic line of occupations. Check that. Supply trains and Steppe Warrior, 30% less attrition. That's not a good place to be. Since there doesn't seem to be any threat over there, let's take care of Riga. The significance of these occupations is to see what's coming. Like that. Actually, if you're split up in that way, we might just see what you're going to do. Sup, Jake, what's the cheese this month? No cheese in this playthrough. Don't you worry, girly. Now, Bavaria and Austria are going to be quite troublesome. They throw quite a lot of troops to the table that I'd rather weren't there. I'm also probably going to lose quite a few battles thanks to Ottomans being tied up over there. Still, we shall win, because that's how we do it around here. You're running away on the 17th. I'll actually give you a chance to get away so that I can fight Riga on my own. It doesn't work out that way. Still, I'll take it. Our manpower's getting too weak to keep this on, so we'll head back up to Novgorod, preferably by way of occupied land. You folks, since we know that Riga is out of town, get some small